Romy. Oh my god. Hold on, my cat just moved my camera. Romy. Mercury in astrology is considered the planet of intellect, communication, and also mental quickness. It represents our ability to think, reason, and communicate with others effectively. So the placement of Mercury in the birth chart is very important to know where this energy is going to express itself. Welcome back to Matriarch Astrology. In this video, we are going to be talking about Mercury's strength and challenges throughout the different houses in the natal wheel. So we're going to start off first with Mercury in the first house and its strengths. Here we're going to see excellent communication skills and the ability to articulate thoughts and ideas clearly. Here we're going to see someone who is quick-witted, adaptable, and also curious. Also a strong sense of logic and rationality. Here we're also going to see a thirst for knowledge, and it could also be knowledge about oneself. There may be a natural curiosity here and wanting to explore new ideas. Also, there could be good problem-solving skills with this placement. Now, here are some potential challenges with Mercury in the first house. There could be a tendency to worry or overthink things. A person with this placement could come across as overly critical or just kind of like nitpicking. There could be a struggle here with indecisiveness or a lack of direction as well. Someone with this placement can become easily distracted or scattered-minded. There may be a difficulty here with expressing emotions and communicating on a deeper level with others. The potential challenge here on focusing too much on the intellectual side of things and not connecting enough with our emotions and our intuition with this placement. Next, we're going to be talking about Mercury in the second house and the strengths with this placement. So here we're going to see some strong communication skills, especially when it comes to financial matters. Here we may see very sharp intellect and good analytical capabilities here, which then could lead to success in any type of endeavors that you encounter that could be financial or business related. And there could also be a natural curiosity here about money and finances and working with money and building and accumulating wealth. Depending, of course, on the sign here, we could have a very good sense of humor when it comes to approaching situations with material things or money, which actually helps you manifest and bring to you more abundance because you're a little bit more optimistic, or could be a little bit more optimistic when it comes to money. I also see this as really witty and kind of somebody that's really good at making good money decisions and investing money and knowing when to invest and using their analytical abilities of Mercury in order to pursue those financial endeavors. So here are some potential challenges when it comes to having Mercury in the second house. Depending on aspects, of course, and the placement of Mercury, we can see someone who may be too critical or analytical when it comes to making financial decisions, especially if we're seeing a square or a type of opposition from other planets. We could see also difficulty here with finances or just managing money in general, which will then lead to financial insecurities mentally or being worried about money. There could also be a tendency to be too cautious with money, especially if we have any type of harsh aspects with Pluto that can really overemphasize any type of anxieties surrounding money, financial situations, or even material objects. So that's why it's always important to also take everything here with a grain of salt, because this is very general information and we're not going deeper with aspects that can really change the flavor of this whole thing. Mercury and the third house and the strengths with this position. This is great because Mercury is the natural ruler of the third house, because Gemini is a natural ruler of the third house, which is ruled by Mercury. So this sign or this planet is very comfortable here. This is at home. So your language skills may allow you to freely express your opinions and your thoughts and ideas. Here we're also going to see a spark in curiosity and a natural desire to learn, which then can manifest into wanting to learn as a lifelong thing. So this could be going off to college, and even after finishing college, you're still wanting to learn and grow and learn different things and communicate with other people as a way of learning. The third house is also associated with siblings and also neighbors. So this placement could affect how you communicate with your siblings. It could be that you communicate a lot or need a lot of communication with your siblings, and it's something that is enhanced, especially if there's positive aspects, or it could be that you have harsh communications if you're having harsh aspects, or let's say like a conjunction from Mars or something like that, where there may be arguments with siblings. Of course, that's all depending on aspects, but in general here, there's going to want to be communication with siblings, if you have any siblings, of course. The third house is also associated with short distance travel. So this could be something that you like to travel to different locations, maybe another city, just to learn something or to go out in a social event with other people, because Mercury also wants to constantly be doing things. It can get bored. So constant traveling is another possibility with this placement. Here we're going to see a boost in mental stamina and also intellect. This position may also allow you to solve situations or difficulties quickly because you're able to think quick on your mind, especially if the third house is, let's say, Gemini third house, or Virgo third house, which is very comfortable, or even Aquarius, any other air signs. You're able to really think things quickly and solve problems. Some possible challenges with Mercury in the third house could manifest as feeling restless, either mentally or just feeling like you get bored too easily and needing constant stimulation. So you are going to want to find healthy outlets and something that keeps you mentally stimulated to kind of offset that energy. There could also be a difficulty on focusing on one thing for too long. With Mercury in the third, we could see a tendency to overthink things and overanalyze. So we want to be careful with that as well. Also, depending on what sign Mercury is in, there could be a tendency to be argumentative or just being overly critical of others and even yourself. So make sure if you have this placement that you are giving yourself mental breaks and allowing yourself to decompress a little bit so that you don't burn yourself out. Next, we have Mercury in the fourth house and its strengths. Here we're going to see a strong communication with close family members or friends that people may see as family members. Here we're going to see an analytical and logical mind that helps problem solving situations within the home. Here we're going to see a possible love for learning about ancestors, your roots, and kind of wanting to follow or even build a family tree or learn about it on Ancestry. So there may be an interest there. We may also see a talent for learning or teaching others about domestic matters within the home or about the home or a home in general. Here we might see an interest in home-based businesses or potentially even working from home. Again, sign placement and aspects are important to take note here, but this is very general. Some potential challenges with Mercury in the fourth house could be having difficulty expressing emotions with family members, especially if there are hard aspects to the planet Mercury, or if the Mercury is in detriment or fall. And that could lead to difficulty with feeling vulnerable with family members. There could be an issue here with overanalyzing or obsessing about domestic situations or home, or worrying too much about family members. Here we could see a difficulty with feeling settled within the home, especially if the home is constantly being moved or you feel like you're moving around too much and not able to settle and make strong roots because of constant moving for whatever reasons. And also there could be a possibility of struggles when it comes to organizing the home or keeping the home clean, unless it's in the sign of Virgo, which I think would kind of help offset that. But in general, that could be a possible challenge. Mercury in the fifth house and the potential strengths with this placement. Here we may see expressive and creative communication skills, because this is the fifth house, which is the house of creativity. Also going to see a strength and ability here to think on your feet and improvise pretty quickly. There can be a love of learning, especially in a creative way or in a creative field like art or drama. A possibility here could be an intellectual compatibility with potential partners. There could also be an affinity for children and their communication, whether it's other children or your own children. There is a potential for entrepreneurial success, especially if it is in a creative field. Here's some potential challenges when Mercury is in the fifth house. As always, I feel with every house placement, there can be a tendency to overthink or overanalyze, especially if there are harsh aspects or if the Mercury is in detriment or fall. There could be possible struggles with decision making or commitment. There also may be a difficulty in separating emotions from logic. There may be potential conflict in relationships due to communication issues. Here we're going to see a need for mental stimulation and variety, especially with things that are creative. If not, we may be led to feelings of restlessness. Here we may see a challenge with authority figures. There may also be a tendency to be overly critical either on yourselves or on your partner if you're in a relationship. Mercury in the sixth house and the possible strengths with this position. So here the natural ruler is Virgo, another sign that is ruled by the planet Mercury. So Mercury is at home here in the 6th house. So here we're going to see a sharp and analytical mind, making it easier to solve any type of problems, especially if it's at work, because the 6th house is also the house of work. This placement can also indicate a very strong work ethic, especially if it's in Capricorn. There can be a great attention to detail, which can lead to success in the work field. Mercury in the 6th house can also represent good communication skills, because again, it's comfortable here, it is at home. This can make it easier to collaborate with colleagues at work. Now, some potential challenges with Mercury in the 6th house. This placement can lead to overthinking, overanalyzing, and stressing, which then may lead possibly to health issues or just ailments within the body, because the 6th house is also the house of health. Another potential challenge would be here a tendency to overwork or become a workaholic, which may lead to burnout or neglecting other areas in life. This position can also bring challenges with coworkers or work-related communication, which then leads to misunderstanding and leads to conflict. So just make sure that you're looking at aspects and house placement to give you further insight on this. Mercury in the 7th house and its strengths. Here we're going to see good communication skills, especially in partnerships. Here we may see an ability to negotiate and compromise with others. We're also going to see an intellectual connection with partners, or a desire to have an intellectual connection with your partner. Here we may see a very sharp and analytical mind, which helps resolve any potential conflicts. Some potential challenges with Mercury in the 7th house could be overanalyzing or being too critical of one's partner. There could also be a difficulty in decision making in partnerships. There's also a potential for a misunderstanding and miscommunication. Here we see a possibility in attracting a partner who is overly intellectual or critical. And as I say with other placements, you want to see what sign Mercury is in and the aspects that are being made to Mercury, and Mercury making aspects to other planets to get further insight on this. Mercury in the 8th house and its strengths. Here we may see strong intuition and analytical skills when it comes to financial matters, especially if it has to do with taxes or inheritance money. This is a great placement if anybody wants to be a detective, because we have that energy of investigation, wanting to investigate things that are hidden or occult or anything that's unseen. So that's why I say detective or spy, even psychologist or therapist, anything that's getting deep in the subconscious or the unseen. We just see that energy of wanting to investigate and research here. There could be a deep interest in occult or metaphysical subjects, and we're going to see a strong desire here to learn or understand the mysteries of life and death. So there could be an interest in like NDEs and researching NDEs, or ghosts or aliens, very taboo subjects in the natural sense, because I don't really think that a lot of them are taboo. So here are the possible challenges when it comes to having Mercury in the 8th house. Again, aspects and the sign placement is going to affect this here. Here we could see a tendency to become obsessive about financial matters, money, possessions. We could also see a difficulty here in letting go of past hurts and also holding on to resentment and grudges. Here we could see a possibility of being mistrustful or secretive. On the other hand, we could see a difficulty here in discussing taboo subjects or occult-like subjects. So it really depends on aspects, because if we have good aspects, we would want to see more of an interest in learning about those dark, hidden, taboo subjects. But if we have, let's say, Mercury in fall, or it's combust, or having hard aspects, then there might be fear or wanting to shy away from those type of subjects and not wanting to pursue them. So just in general, like difficulty in communicating about those subjects. Overall, Mercury in the 8th house can bring about powerful and transformative energy. So we always are going to want to look at the aspects so we can see how to use this energy in a positive way. Next up, we have Mercury in the 9th house and the potential strengths. Here we're going to see a natural curiosity and a love for learning. This could lead to a broad range of knowledge and experiences, especially potentially abroad. We may see here a talent for teaching or sharing information with others. You may have the potential to be a skilled communicator, both verbally and in writing. Here we may see an interest for spirituality, philosophy, or religion, also astrology. Here we have the possibility to view things in an abstract manner and see the connections between things that may seem unrelated, but that they actually are tied together. Some potential challenges with Mercury in the ninth could be some indecisiveness or a lack of focus. This could be because your mind could be easily distracted by new ideas or by new experiences. There could be issues with finding grounding or sense of stability, as your interests and or beliefs may constantly change or evolve either way. We're just gonna have to continue on with Romy making his little appearance here. There may be a struggle with authority figures or educational systems, or even beliefs from other religions. There could also be a tendency to be argumentative or overly intellectual, which could then create conflicts in your personal or professional relationships. Again, this is all depending on aspects and the placement of Mercury, as in which sign it's placed in, not the house. We want to be careful here with the possible tendency to over-exaggerate certain truth. This could be either intentionally or unintentionally. Okay, next we have Mercury in the 10th house and the possible strength. Here we're going to see strong analytical and problem-solving skills. This placement could lead to quick thinking and the ability to act and make decisions under pressure. Here we may see a possible talent for networking and building relationships that are professional. Here we're going to see a desire to learn and constantly improve your skills. So some potential challenges with Mercury in the 10th house could be a tendency to be overcritical or analytical of yourself and your work. We could see difficulty here with authority figures or just power struggles within the work field. There could be a tendency to overthink decisions or just to become too indecisive. Another challenge could be that you have difficulty in separating your work life from your personal life. And this is because the 10th house is naturally opposing the 4th house of the home. So any planets that you have in the 10th, or if you have any in the 4th, depending on what degree they're in, could be opposing each other. But naturally, there could be some balance that needs to be achieved in order to find some equilibrium between work and personal life. We could also see a potential for burnout, and this is due to mental stress or just trying to do too much. So being mentally active in work to the extent that you become burned out. Next, we have Mercury in the 9th house and their potential strengths. Here we're going to see excellent communication skills and the ability to communicate effectively while also expressing their ideas in a creative way. We're going to see strong intellectual and analytical abilities, which could make them good problem solvers. Here we could see good connection skills or an ability to network with other people and create a large network of friends or a large group, especially if it's online. While we may also see a natural desire for new ideas, new perspectives, and a creative outlet, a different way of doing things, because this is naturally ruled by Aquarius, which is innovative, creative, and thinking outside the box. Some potential challenges with Mercury in the 11th house. We could see that this person may be overly critical or analytical of those in their social groups or networks. There could be a difficulty in keeping long-term friendships or relationship in general. We could see possible struggles here in completing or finishing commitments or projects. This person could have a hard time balancing their own individuality with the needs and expectations of their social groups. They can also be prone to anxiety or nervousness within social groups or just social situations, especially if there's hard aspects or if Mercury is in detriment or fall. And last, we have Mercury in the 12th house and the possible strengths. Here we're going to see a strong intuition and strong imaginative thinking. This is going to allow for creative problem-solving abilities while also being able to see or analyze in a very unique perspective. This person can have profound insights or just being able to really see things on a deeper level, and they're also able to understand the hidden aspects of life. This could lead to deep personal growth or spiritual transformation transformation. This placement allows the native to communicate on a deeper level with other people, and they're able to do this with empathy, which is then in return able to foster a very nurturing and truly empathic relationship. Here we could see a gifted person in creative writing, poetry, music, or some type of artistic expression, which could lead to fulfillment. With practice, this person can be really good at meditating, or it could come easier to this person to meditate, especially if we have harmonious aspects or a strong placement with Mercury here in the 12th house. Sorry, not the 9th, the 12th. Of course, these spiritual practices are going to lead to fulfillment and having a more spiritual connection to oneself and also to the universe. So some potential challenges with having Mercury in the 12th house. There could be a difficulty here in expressing thoughts and or ideas. There could be a tendency here to feel misunderstood or feel like your people are misinterpreting what you're trying to communicate, which then could lead you to want to isolate yourself or feeling a sense of isolation because nobody truly understands you, or that you could feel like you're unheard. There could be here a struggle with self-expression or a type of assertiveness, especially when it comes to communication. This could lead to misunderstandings or feeling like you're unfulfilled somehow. Here we might see a person who is prone to anxiety or overthinking, or just having self-doubt in general. This could then lead to negative thought patterns and habits, which then could trickle down to self-sabotage. So that's something you really want to keep in mind here. Also, there could be here a difficulty in setting boundaries, which could then lead to feeling overwhelmed or burnt out. So make sure that you are setting strong boundaries, and if you do need a creative outlet, I really would suggest some type of creative outlet, whether it's through art, music, poetry, something that really helps you channel this energy in a positive and effective way. You're always going to want to look at aspects and what sign Mercury is placed in to get further information on this topic. If you guys are interested in watching Mercury through the houses in a child's chart, I do have a video here on that topic as well. And as always, thank you guys for watching so much. Please let me know your Mercury sign down in the comments and certain aspects that you have and how that has manifested for you. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.